Hi guys. So I was going to talk a bit more about these. The Ferret rounds. Barricade penetrating cartridge. Model SGA 100 which shoots like a kind of slug in a projectile with a plastic shell. I guess you could call it a sabot. I don't know how to pronounce that word, probably French. Anyway, it's like a plastic dart with a lead projectile in the top to get the weight forward, which helps with ballistics. And behind that projectile there is like a liquid CS compound. When they load it, they have like a powdery CS gas in powder form, and then they pour in, let's see what the name is. Well, it's some kind of really shitty liquid that dissolves the CS powder. I had a name here. Well, whatever, we'll get to it. So what it does is you can fire it from a shotgun, since it's 12 gauge, but it doesn't have enough gunpowder to cycle as semi-auto, so you basically need a pump action shotgun or similar. And then you can shoot through barriers, and these are the Type 2 version, and they define the Type 2 single thickness penetrator like this: ammunition that penetrates single thickness barrier materials. Dissemination occurs after or while penetrating materials such as single glazed windows, plywood sheeting, or plasterboard. So you can't really shoot it through like a brick wall or anything. That's not gonna do shit. But you can shoot it into a house through some windows, and it will poop CS gas behind it. So the most famous usage of these Ferret rounds was in the Waco standoff, and these cartridges or shotgun shells were blamed for the fire being started. But there's no way these can start a fire. What they're suspecting is some of these rounds that were fired into the buildings knocked over some open flame lights or candles or something, and then the fire started. That's the suspicion anyway. So these are the very old version. These probably won't fire since they're that old. It's from the first manufacturer called AAI, and they labeled the box Ferret for some reason, and that's stock, and they're basically called Ferret rounds right now. There's 40mm grenades and 37mm grenades as well, but these are the 12 gauge ones. We have an open package here where you can look at them. There's some kind of corrosion going on this. Come on, focus, stupid. Let's do it like this, then it might focus. Ah, well. So it's labeled AAI Corp Ferret SGA 100 Liquid CS, and I'm gonna suspect something is coming through there. And the top, you can see the top of the plastic cone. Behind that little pizza slice thing, there's supposed to be a lead projectile, but the whole blue thing will fly as a unit, and the lead projectile will go through, well, light cover or whatever you want to call it, like a window or whatever, and then the CS gas behind this will poop out. And since it's gonna travel about 1,000 feet per second, it's gonna like aerosolize and become a mist, and then someone's gonna have to breathe that shit, and hopefully that will lead to a non-violent solution for any kind of crisis. That's the idea anyway. So you can't really go through much, so basically windows is what it's meant to go through, and the gas will be invisible. it's not going to look like smoke or something, and the aerosolized agent will stay in the air for a long time. So it's not much in one of these, but fire a few of them. One of the downsides of this is if you actually hit someone with this, they can be fatal because of the lead projectile, and it's still like a light slug or something. So I'm not sure how useful this is compared to like a regular grenade, but the standoff distance will be greater using a shotgun. And if someone is firing towards you and you still want to not kill them, you can use this as a police officer and you might solve the situation peacefully, hopefully. Didn't work in Waco though. One of the downsides of this is that the carrier, now I found the name for it, methylene chloride, that's what they use to dissolve the CS gas powder. That's carcinogenic, so don't sniff on these too long or you might get cancer. That shouldn't be an issue because usually you don't go around shooting these things all over the place. But it's you have to clean up after usage, of course. And it's not that much gas in one of these, so it shouldn't be that much of a cleanup either. So that's a cool cartridge to have in my collection. Obviously I'm never gonna fire these. They're too old to work for one thing, and why would I ever want to fire a collectible? So that's one of the things I have in my vast ammunition collection. Have a nice day, everyone.